Good morning, wet shavers, coffee lovers, and podcast listeners everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeToon.com. It's time for another second cup. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, relax, put in your earbuds, adjust that speaker volume, and let's talk some wet shaving and a few other things in podcast form. Just to bring you up to speed, Second Cup is a podcast that will give you some additional information that didn't make the Monday morning mailbag deadline. This might be something that is time sensitive. For instance, a sale that could be ending before the next 3MB airs, or a piece of late breaking information that viewers have passed along that is equally time sensitive, or something else regarding the wet shaving world that needs to be broadcast in a timely fashion. And we'll also have some time to chit chat and discuss some other things like coffee, movies, streaming shows, books, that sort of thing. So thanks for tuning in to Second Cup. And I hope you subscribe to the podcast where you can also find episodes of the Monday Morning Mailbag in podcast form. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. We'll get the show underway in just a moment. Thanks for joining me. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the February 12th, 2024 episode of Second Cup. Thanks so much for tuning in. I sure hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. I have got Tim Hortons Original Blend ground coffee. This is their medium roast. Right here, I got a 3-pound can right here that I'm holding in my hand. Let me just set that down right there. And I am using my bean-to-bean coffee mug. This came courtesy of viewer William Meredith. William also clued us in on Ohio House in Philadelphia. We talked about that this morning on the Monday Morning Mailbag. What an interesting piece of history from Philadelphia. If you missed that, check that out on this morning's Monday Morning Mailbag during the opening of the show. Really, very, very interesting history connecting Ohio to Philadelphia. Really neat. And I probably should have used the Bean-to-Bean Coffee Company coffee mug because it's out of Philadelphia. And thanks again to William Meredith for very kindly sending it to the channel. It's terrific. Hang on, I'm going to get a sip. 1 minute. Boy, that Tim Hortons is fantastic. And on the label, it says Canada's favorite coffee. I can understand why. Absolutely fantastic. And I happened to get this coffee from Costco. I just recently joined Costco, and I was going through the store on my first visit, and I went down the coffee aisle, and I looked to my left, and here was this big 3-pound can of Tim Hortons. I thought, wow, we've talked about that on the Monday Morning Mailbag. I've got to get this. And it is a really delightful coffee. Just a great, all-around, great, basic, flavorful go-to coffee, and that's why I enjoy it so much. So yeah, it's absolutely been great. And speaking of Costco, yesterday was the big game. We're not allowed to say what it actually is because of copyright restrictions. Maybe I can get away with it. I'm not sure, but you know what? To be on the safe side, we'll just call it that big football game that was held yesterday. I was thinking that everybody was going to be at home getting ready for the big game. They were going to go to parties, or they were just sitting in front of the television set, watching all the pregame festivities and watching all the commercials and that sort of thing. And I thought, hey, this is a good time to go to Costco because no one's going to be there. Everyone's going to be at home watching the big game, right? They probably did all their shopping this week. Maybe Saturday was the last day of shopping to stock up on their pizza and chips and their wings and everything else they were going to have for their big game party. And I thought, yeah, okay, aren't I a smart guy? I'm going to go to Costco on Sunday, and I'm not going to have to wait in line, and there's going to be plenty of breathing room. No one will be there. It'll just be me and maybe a handful of other really smart people who are avoiding the crowds because the crowds are at home getting ready for the big game. I could not be more wrong. Place was jammed. I couldn't figure it out. My gosh, either these folks were thinking the same thing I was thinking. Hey, we're not going to watch the game. We're just going to go to Costco because no one's going to be there. Or they were oblivious to the fact that there was a game. I can't figure it out. The place was absolutely packed, like it is every visit that I go there. So yeah, but it was a great visit, and we got some nice items that we needed here in the house. But again, the Tim Hortons coffee we got from Costco, so I'm really happy about that. So if I ever need to stock up on it, I know where to get it at Costco. So if you're a Costco member and you haven't seen it, look for it. It should be on the shelves. If it's at my Costco, it's more than likely it's going to be at your Costco as well. Well, we've got a really terrific show for you this morning. We have some comments that came in. We're going to kick it off with some comments that came in regarding the review of the NFL Salute to Service razor that we reviewed, the Gillette Labs NFL Salute to Service razor. That was really interesting. We want to kind of give you some feedback on that because that was a review that ran on the Sunday of the big game. That's why I scheduled it for that day, because it was an NFL tribute razor, and it also is raising awareness for a very good cause. And we'll get into that. So you know what? Let's pay a few bills, and then we'll get the show underway. Well, as we mentioned in the opening of the show, we got some really nice comments from viewers regarding the review that ran on the Sunday of the big game regarding the Gillette Labs NFL Salute to Service razor, cartridge razor. I'm holding it in my hand right here, and it has an exfoliating strip also built into the handle, and 5-bladed cartridge head. Anyhow, I wanted to share with you some of the feedback that viewers sent along. Matt Bennett wrote, "That looks to be a good razor, but no. I am going to stick with my DE razor and blades. No longer interested in buying cartridges or handles ever." Matt, I agree with you. I'm sticking with my DE razor and blades as well. I love doing the traditional wet shave, and I love using a safety razor. Absolutely. However, we like to point out cartridge razors every once in a while. This one was sent to the channel very kindly and generously by Greg from Virginia. Thank you again, Greg. But again, you're not allowed to take a safety razor in your carry-on bag if you're flying out of town. And if that's the only bag you're taking, you can't take a safety razor. I'm sure safety razors are still okay for checked luggage, but in a carry-on, no, you can't even take the safety razor, even if you don't have the blades in the carry-on. They will confiscate that safety razor. So you're going to have to either take an electric with you or a cartridge razor. Now, there are some other cartridge razors out there that are single-bladed cartridge razors, and we've talked about those. The Penny Shaver from AP Shave Company, that's a really good single-blade cartridge razor, and also the Uno razor, which is a single blade cartridge razor. That's another one that is very good. So you might want to check out those two as well if you don't like the multi-bladed cartridge razors. But we pointed out because of the restrictions now on taking a safety razor in your carry-on bag. You can't do it. We learned this last year at the Maggard meetup from Mantic 59. He had researched this. And no more safety razors allowed in a carry-on bag at all. So that's why every once in a while we talk about cartridge razors. JT NF9TK, that's the screen name, said, "Cartridge razors are anathema to me. Straights, shavettes, DE, and SE razors are the way to go." I agree, JT. Absolutely, I agree. That is really the best way to get a shave. And, but again, we like to talk about cartridge razors just so folks know that there's an option out there, especially for their carry-on bag. Now, the Gillette Labs NFL Salute to Service razor supports a program called TAPS. Well, here's what they have to say. "Gillette is proud to support the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, TAPS, and their Military Mentor Program through NFL Salute to Service. TAPS supports all those who have lost a military loved one, no matter how they died or where they died. Military mentors support the children left behind with many things, including teaching them to shave in the absence of a parent at home. A really, really great cause, which is another reason why we talked about this particular razor, because of that TAPS program. And I'm hoping that they expand that program to include safety razors and DE blades, that sort of thing. That would be wonderful. We also heard from Rob Bruno, who wrote, "Your reaction to a cartridge razor, very nice. Your reaction to a safety razor, great shave, followed by a hand clap. This is all you need to know." Rob, you're absolutely correct. While the cartridge razor did give me a nice shave, I find that a DE razor, safety razor with a DE blade, gives me a closer shave, a more long-lasting shave. And this is also true when I do head shaves. When I use a safety razor for my head shaves, I get a closer result and a longer lasting result. With cartridge razors, and there are times where I grab a cartridge razor, jump into the shower, and give myself a quick head shave, just because of time constraints and my schedule and that sort of thing. I find that when I use that cartridge razor, and I try to keep it 3 blades or less, that sort of thing. But again, when I use a cartridge razor, the result is never as close or as long-lasting as when I shave with the DE razor. Now, before I got in front of this microphone, I had a shower and I did a head shave with my Supply SE single edge razor. And my gosh, did it do a great job. And you know what? I put a little bit of a Parasso white cream in a shave bowl, and I got a shave brush, and I stood in the shower, and I had my mirror, and I whipped up a lather, and man, did I get a great head shave. And it's going to last me a good 2 days. I won't have to do a head shave tomorrow, and I'll be good to go for another head shave on the 3rd day, and you know, it'll be a shave where I don't have to mow down a lot of hair, because you know, I got such a great close shave with the safety razor, with the Supply SE. And again, that's been my go-to for head shaves. If I had used a cartridge razor, I would have to do a head shave the very next day, because it's just not as long lasting. That's what I have found. That's been my experience. J-Mark Guy commented on the Gillette Pure shaving cream that we used in that review, and he wrote, "I haven't been able to find Gillette Pure in quite a while. I have half a tube left that I bought 2 years ago. Great scent. I always liked it." Well, Jim from Northfield to the rescue, and he wrote, "They don't make Gillette Pure shave cream any longer. They rebranded it and changed the formula. It's referred to as Gillette Skin Ultra Sensitive Shave Cream, same type of tube." So I'll have to leave it to viewers out there to try that new one out, that new formula, to see if it's as good as Gillette Pure or if it doesn't hold up to the original, so to speak. But that was a little bit of back and forth that we had on the Gillette Labs NFL Salute to Service cartridge razor. And again, if you're flying out of town and you only have a carry-on bag, you cannot take a safety razor, even though you have not included the blades. It used to be that if you were flying out of town, you could take your safety razor in your carry-on bag as long as you didn't have any blades. So what a lot of wet shavers would do is they would take that safety razor, throw it in their dop kit, and then when they got to their destination, they would go into a local big box store or some other store and grab some blades, you know, off the shelf there, or they would mail razor blades to their hotel or to family members if they were visiting family members, something like that. You know, to kind of get around that. You can't even take the safety razor anymore. So, you know, that whole strategy is lost. But again, that's why we talk about the cartridge razor and, you know, its usefulness if you're going to be flying out of town and you can only take and you only have a carry-on bag. And we're also going to kind of expand on that a little bit more from a history standpoint of shaving with something that that just came in after I wrapped up the Monday morning mailbag, and I'll be showing it on an upcoming Monday morning mailbag. And a big tip of the hat to Ken Surfs, because he pointed this out and I ordered it. And wow, it's a really amazing item. We'll get into that later on in the show, so stay tuned for that. So my thanks to everyone who commented on the review of the Gillette Labs NFL Salute to Service razor. I understand everyone's position, and I'm on the same page with you. I love a safety razor, and that's absolutely the best way to shave. I agree, but every once in a while, you're going to have that option, especially if you're flying out of town and you're only taking a carry-on. So thanks again, everyone. Really do appreciate all the very, very helpful and informative comments. Now, in talking about doing a head shave with a safety razor or a cartridge razor, here's something else that was in the comments section of that Gillette Labs review. And it comes from a couple of viewers here, and this was really, really very interesting, and I wanted to pass it along for purposes of information and also maybe to generate some discussion about it. This comes from MWM302, and he writes, I have a confession to make. When I shave my head, I use a DE razor for a couple of passes, then use a cartridge razor to finish. My head is not BBS, but glass smooth and no razor bumps. Wow, how about that? However, viewer D. Sanchez 9703 followed up in a comment, a reply, and he said, I do the same. I use my Razor Rock Game Changer .84, then finish with the Dollar Shave Club 4-blade razor. How about that? That is really, really interesting, and that's something that I am going to try. I never thought of doing that. It was either one or the other. Now, when I do my head shaves, I do 2 passes and then a little bit of touch-up by taking some of that lather off of the brush and then holding it in my hand and then moving it around on my head to find some spots that I may have missed, and then taking that safety razor and just buffing away some of those longer hairs or some of the little bit of fuzz that I might have missed, that sort of thing, to get a really, really nice head shave. And that's been my routine. Perhaps I'll follow up with a 3-bladed or less cartridge razor instead of doing that touch-up. Maybe that will give me a similar result. Really, really very, very interesting, because here I was thinking it's either or. Either you use a safety razor or you use a cartridge razor, but a couple of viewers here, MWM302 and D. Sanchez 9703, using both of them hand in hand. Wow, that is a great, great approach, and one that I'm going to use. Now, if you're a head shaver out there and you have used this kind of approach, DE razor, finish off with a cartridge razor, let me know, comment below, or send me an email at mondaymailbag@gmail.com. And we'll talk about it on upcoming Monday morning mailbags. Or if you are going to use it, let us know what your results are. I would really be interested in hearing how it worked out for you. It's something I'm going to try. So my thanks to MWM302 and D. Sanchez 9703 for those very, very informative comments on a great strategy, a great approach in doing a head shave with both a safety razor and a cartridge razor. Gentlemen, thank you very, very much. Now, I mentioned that I did a head shave in the shower this morning. I used a shave bowl and a brush and my Supply SC single edge razor, the injector razor. Again, my go-to for a head shave. Love that razor for head shaves. Also does a great job delivering a wonderful face shave. But for head shaves, it's that razor or any other equivalent mild DE razor. I really enjoy using a DE or SE razor for head shaves, as long as they're on the mild yet efficient end of the spectrum. And of course, I will use a shaving bowl, but it's got to be a plastic shaving bowl. Obviously, you don't want to use something that's going to shatter in your shower. This leads us to something that just came in email from Philip Sharp, because he very kindly, and I'm holding it right here, he very kindly sent the channel a 3D printed lathering bowl, the Sharp Shaver Lathering Bowl. And we featured it on a Monday Morning Mailbag, and I've also used it for my face shaves, and it's absolutely a wonderful, wonderful item. And he wrote here, hey, here's my Etsy link if someone wants a bowl. So if you want a 3D printed lathering bowl from Philip Sharp, the Sharp Shaver, just get over to https://sharpshaver.etsy.com. Again, that's sharpshaver.etsy.com. And Sharp Shaver is spelled SharpShaver. So that's sharpshaver.etsy.com. And you can check out the lathering bowls, the 3D lathering bowls, 3D printed lathering bowls that he has for sale up there. He's got a number of different colors, and we've used this lathering bowl, and it did a great job. It built a lot of lather, and again, it's one of these lathering bowls that it fits nicely in the hand and has a lot of area inside. So when you are building a lather with it, you're thinking, my gosh, it's not really generating a lot of lather. It is. It's generating a lot of lather because the opening is a little more generous than maybe some other lathering bowls you've used. So after you get done generating lather, you'll know, you'll find out, you'll discover there's a lot of lather there. If you had used a smaller bowl, well, it would be spilling over. And you're thinking, well, I got heaps of lather. Well, you're getting the same amount of lather in the Sharp Shaver lathering bowl. It's just that it's a little larger. So it contains the lather a little better. So yeah, check that out. Again, from Philip Sharp, 3D printed lathering bowl. It's the Sharp Shaver lathering bowl, and you can get it again on his Etsy store at https://sharpshaver.etsy.com, and Sharp Shaver is spelled SharpShaver, sharpshaver.etsy.com. Hey, Philip, thanks for sending that along. I really do appreciate it. And folks, we will have the link below in the description. Well, we've been talking about cartridge razors on today's Second Cup. Let's kind of switch gears a little bit and go back to talking about DE razors and SE razors. And coincidentally, this came in from Tyler Fike regarding the Leaf Twig SE razor. And Tyler writes, "Good morning, Mark. So I decided to give this razor a try after I told myself that I wouldn't. I had the mindset that safety razors have been around forever and provide the simplest and best results, so why change it? Obviously, single blade razors have been around for a long time too, but they have certainly lost their spotlight to the standard DE safety razors. But I went against my own word and decided to buy a Leaf Twig since I had shop cash to spend on the shop app. The normal price of $59.99 was only $28 for me. How could I pass up a deal like that? Lo and behold, I am blown away with this thing. The feel in the hand is perfect with the flared bottom and slender neck. It won't slip out of your hand easily. Loading a blade is so simple and alignment is perfect every single time with the guideposts and magnet. It's incredibly smooth with hardly any blade feel, but it mows down the whiskers like they're nothing. Problems getting all the whiskers from under your nose? Not anymore. I think if you look up the word sleek, it's going to reference this razor head. The angle of approach is different from any of my safety razors, but very easy to figure out within the first swipe or two. I've had a few shaves with it so far with a different blade each time. I've used the Silver Star SS, Permasharp, and Astra SS. Speaking of blades, turning your 100 pack of favorite blades into 200 with a simple snap, cost effectiveness just got better. Every shave I've had thus far was effortless and smooth. BBS results with no nicks or irritation. So in conclusion, I'm loving this razor. Will it replace my Rockwell Success, Copper Ascension, Fat Boys, etc.? Probably not, but it's going to be a razor I reach for often without a doubt. I'm glad I went against my better judgment of thinking this thing was just all hype and not something worth trying. To say I would recommend this razor to you or anyone else is an understatement. I strongly encourage anyone to try it. Disappointment and the leaf twig just don't fit in the same sentence. Give it a try sometime, Mark. It's worth every penny. God bless and take care, Tyler. Tyler, thanks for an absolutely fantastic review of the leaf twig. I have heard great things about the leaf twig, but you have gone into such detail that yes, it's on my radar now even more. And I'm definitely going to give it a very, very close look. Folks, we'll have a link below in the description to the leaf twig if you want to check it out. But Tyler, you got such a great deal on it. My gosh, $28? Wow. If I had that deal, I would have snapped it up as well. So thanks again for a great, great review on the leaf twig, Tyler. I am very, very intrigued. I'm going to follow up. I'm going to give it a close look. And who knows, maybe down the road, I'll pick one up. Hopefully, I can find it on sale like you did. That would be wonderful. Tyler, thanks again. Really do appreciate it. And folks, we'll have a link below to the leaf twig. Thanks again, Tyler. Well, as we mentioned earlier in the show, Ken Surfs did a video on Avon vintage products, aftershave decanters, and also some brass razor handles. Now, we talked about that on this morning's Monday morning mailbag, and I happen to have a vintage Avon decanter that was laying around the house here. I think it either belonged to my father or my late father or my late brother. I'm not entirely sure, but it's just been sitting here for the longest time, and I never put two and two together until I saw Ken Surf's video. So thanks very much to Ken Surfs for the big heads up on these Avon decanters. And as he said, there are some beautiful Avon decanters, aftershave decanters that you can get on eBay for a very good price so far. I'm sure as the popularity, as he points out, as the popularity of these aftershave decanters from Avon grows, they're probably going to go up in price. So if you get up there now and check them out, you might be able to come away with a really, really nice vintage Avon aftershave decanter for not a lot of money. But he also mentioned the personalized brass razor handles that are compatible with the Gillette Track 2 cartridge razor heads. And I happen to go up there, and sure enough, these are solid brass razor handles that are going for $4 and $5. That's it, and maybe another $4 or $5 to ship. And I happened to get one that cost just under $10. It was about $4.99 for the razor handle and $5 to ship. And I'm holding it here. This was new old stock. I'm taking it out of the box, and it says personalized brass razor, and a handsome solid brass razor, specially engraved with your initials, a promise of superb shaves for years to come. The natural brass shine is protected by a durable lacquer finish. In time, lacquer may wear off. Restore original luster with brass polish. Holds standard disposable twin blade cartridges. These are the, again, the Gillette Track 2 cartridges. And I'm holding this beautiful, beautiful brass razor. It looks brand new. It has the initials GRM. It's new old stock. It was never sent to anyone because it came with the original Track 2 cartridge razor head. Now, how do I know this? Well, because it doesn't have any lubricating strip or anything on it, because the Gillette Track 2 razor heads I have are Track 2 Plus with a lubricating strip. I don't believe they make the standard Track 2 cartridge razor heads anymore. That's my thought. I could be wrong. If anyone knows this specifically, please send me an email at mondaymailbag@gmail.com or comment below and let me know. But it's a beautiful brass handle. So for less than $10, you get a beautiful brass handle that that is compatible with the Gillette Track 2 Plus cartridge head. And why do we mention this? Well, because how cost effective is that for taking a razor in your DOP kit, in your carry-on, that will be allowed. It's a cartridge razor, and this will be allowed. So it's not a 5-bladed cartridge razor head or a 7-bladed cartridge razor head, that sort of thing. It's just 2 blades with a lubricating strip, and I think you can tolerate that for a weekend getaway, even though it's not a single blade or a single edge single blade or single edge razor. At least this will get you through with a fine shave, being only 2 blades. And that's why I like cartridge razors with 3 blades or less. And this is definitely one that I'm going to throw in my carry-on, in my DOP kit for my carry-on if I'm going to fly away here this year sometime. Because the handle feels great in the hand. It takes the standard Gillette Track 2 Plus cartridge razor heads, only 2 blades, which is something I can tolerate for, a weekend getaway or 4 or 5 days, whatever it is. And this is something I'm going to consider to throw into my my carry-on, my DOP kit in my carry-on. And plus, it's not a lot of money. It was less than $10 for this, and it's a solid brass handle with a beautiful lacquer finish. Why not? So that's why I took a chance on it. And again, new old stock, so it was not used. And it's a very, very good option to have if you're going to only take a carry-on and you want to come away with a cartridge razor. Here is a 2-bladed cartridge razor for not a lot of money, and that's the whole point. You can just buy this for less than $10 on eBay, and then just pick up some Gillette Track 2 Plus cartridge heads, whatever those are. I can't remember what the price of those are, but take along a 5-pack. What are they? What does it look like here? Let me just look at this right here. Looks like you'll get in one bank of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So you buy 10 of these, a 10-pack, whatever the 10-pack is. But you're not going to shave with it every single day. You're just going to take it if you travel, something to throw into your carry-on bag. So very, very cost-effective, and it's not going to be a multi-bladed cartridge head in the sense of 4, 5, 6, 7 blades. It's only 2 blades, and I think we can all tolerate that just for a getaway if you're only going to take a carry-on. So that's the whole point. But again, a neat piece of shaving history. I think these went back to the 1980s. I think this is when these were marketed by Avon during the 1980s. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to get up there and take a look at it again and take a look at Ken Surf's video, because I believe he said that these were marketed about the 1980s. So check it out. Personalized brass razor handle from Avon, available on eBay for not a lot of money. $4 and $5 plus whatever they charge for shipping, less than $10 out the door, delivered right to your doorstep. This arrived right after the Monday morning mailbag was uploaded and scheduled and in place, that sort of thing. So that's why we're talking about it here on this morning's Second Cup. Really, really terrific. And again, my thanks to Ken Surfs for pointing it out, because when I saw the decanters, I thought, wow, I have an Avon decanter. And when I saw the brass razor handles, I thought, wow, I have some of the Gillette Track 2 Plus cartridge heads that I used for the Franklin handle that my father had in his shaving gear, my late father had in his shaving gear, and we've used that on a review. You can check out that review. And I thought, wow, another handle that's compatible with the Gillette Track 2 Plus cartridge razor heads. So we'll get a review done on this down the road. I'm really looking forward to shaving with it. So thanks again to Ken Surfs for the heads up on all the great Avon vintage gear that's out there, available on eBay, and it's really a neat piece of shaving history. Thanks again to Ken Surfs. Now, before I get out of here, I'm going to recommend a couple of movies, football movies, since the football season ended yesterday, and you probably would like a little more football. I'm going to recommend 2 great football movies. The first one is from the 1970s, 1978, Heaven Can Wait, starring Warren Beatty. What a classic movie this is. This was nominated for 9 Oscars, including Best Picture. And it's unlike any other football movie you've ever seen. It's about a millionaire who is murdered, and Warren Beatty accidentally gets placed into this gentleman's body because his guardian angel messes up on who is supposed to be removed from Earth, that sort of thing. It really is terrific. So he's a Rams star quarterback who is not supposed to die, and he gets reincarnated into this recently murdered millionaire's body. And it really is a terrific, zany, funny, uplifting kind of sports movie. And it really is in a league of its own. A lot of fun. From 1978, Heaven Can Wait. I really enjoyed this movie when I first saw it. Really, really terrific and very, very well done. The other movie, the other football movie, it's just an uplifting underdog kind of movie. It's called Rudy and stars Sean Astin. This is terrific. It's a true story. It's a sports drama that follows a young man who is determined to play football for Notre Dame in spite of his small stature, his poor grades, his lack of athletic abilities. He has a lot of heart, and he pursues his dream to play Notre Dame football. Check it out. Rudy is a terrific, terrific, uplifting movie. Really, you just root for Rudy all the way through this movie, hoping that he achieves his dream. It's terrific. It really is a terrific movie. Rudy, starring Sean Astin. So there you go. 2 great movies. Heaven Can Wait, starring Warren Beatty from 1978, and Rudy, starring Sean Astin from 1993. And that wraps up another Second Cup. Thanks so much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. I sure hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, please share, please subscribe, and pass it along to a fellow wet shaver or a friend. My thanks to everyone who commented and contributed to today's show. And I mean this sincerely. Without you, this microphone would be silent. If Second Cup or the Monday Morning Mailbag aren't showing up in your regular podcast feed, please drop me a line at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and we'll try to get it all sorted out. So again, thank you all very much. I look forward to getting together with you again on these podcast airwaves. Until then, enjoy the day, enjoy your shave, and enjoy that Second Cup.